Now, it would be nice if the building had an entrance door and some windows. Fortunately, openings in the multilines for doors and windows are easily made using the joint tools. A little care is needed, however, since there are several tools that will cut portions from multilines, and each acts in a different way. Let's take a look at those tools. The first is this, which is the cut single component line, which, as its name says, is used to break an individual component line in the multi-line placement. The broken line can be reconnected with the uncut component lines tool. The next tool is the one beside it, which is cut all component lines, which, as the name implies, is used to break all component lines in the multi-line placement. The broken line can be reconnected again with the uncut component lines tool. Note that no end caps are drawn across the break that you make. Then we have the uncut component lines, which again, as its name implies, removes a break in a multi-line placement that was made with one of the two previous tools. Please note that this will not work with the multi-line partial delete tool, which we'll look at next. In fact, this is the multi-line partial delete. This permanently breaks a multi-line, and the break cannot be reconnected with the uncut component lines tool. The tool settings window offers 4 end cap options for this break. Let's have a look. Cap mode. None. Obviously, no end caps are drawn. Current uses the start and end cap definitions of the original multi-line. Active uses the active start and end cap definition. And joint uses the joint definition of the original multi-line instead of the cap definitions. This ensures that the end cap will always be at 90 degrees to the multi-line. So basically, you would typically choose the cut all component lines tool or the single cut component line tool if you think you might need to heal the opening later. If you use these two tools, MicroStation regards the multi-line as unbroken even though a break is displayed. And remember, the multi-line partial delete tool breaks the multi-line and cannot be reversed. Having looked at the tools, let's have a look at the details for the openings. Now, this information, of course, is in your working files folder in the multiline.pdf file. I'm going to do one of these for you, and you can do the rest. Let me look at this one, for example. The opening we need for this particular window detail is 3 foot from the standard dimension point with a width of opening of 3 feet. So, getting back to our drawing, I'm going to use the Cut All Components tool. Going to place the compass there, so F11 and O. Drag downwards. I need a 3 foot start, so 3, and I left click, and immediately I see the break. My break will be 4 foot, so I type in 4 feet, and left click, and we're done. So there's my 4 foot opening, 3 foot from the outside corner of the block walls. So fairly straightforward, but don't be surprised if you have a little trouble with this. It is a bit finicky, so just keep trying different pick points on the lines, and you'll find that the tool should work quite nicely for you. So you go ahead and fill in the remaining gaps in the wall, and then I'll show you how to insert a window. Having made the gaps in the multi-line, now you need to add the end caps. So a simple line will do. Make sure you have the correct attributes, and just pop a line on each one of these. If you prefer, which is a little quicker, do a copy, select that, and copy that way. That works quite well. And we need to pop one on these too, so line tool again, there to there. And let's do the same copy system again. There, and there, and there. Right, next thing, we need to insert a window symbol. Now this is an architectural drawing, so the window itself doesn't have to look particularly accurate. Most everything in an architectural drawing is symbolic. And you'll find in your working file that I've drawn you a suitable window symbol, which you can easily reproduce. It's two 2x6-inch blocks, spaced 1 foot apart, or 300 millimeters. There are a couple of lines in the middle which represent the glass, double glazing, and we have connection lines on the outside to represent the back of the window and the windowsill. It's that simple. Having drawn it, turn it into a group with Ctrl-G for easy handling. I have this, so I will select it and copy it. And right now it would make sense to copy it from the center of that line. And we will zoom back to my drawing. We have a horizontal window here, so I can easily pop that into place, and it doesn't particularly matter where it goes. I'll leave that one where it is. And now I need to stretch it to fit this opening. So, simple matter of using the stretch tool. Place my fence right there. Pick that point. Drag across, zoom in a little bit, and plop my window into place just about there. There. Now I'll let you do that for your drawing. So populate the window openings with the same symbol drawing and stretch to suit the window opening, and come back when you finish that. All my windows are in place, but you may have noticed that I forgot to put them on the correct level. This is one of my many failings, but it's an easy fix. So we'll select the windows and we'll simply select the window level, which solves the problem quite nicely. Next thing is to insert some doors. And I haven't given you any door dimensions, but again, if you look at your file, you'll see that we obviously have doors to each of the offices. And this one has 2 doors. Now, I couldn't make a door symbol, of course, but it's easier to use a pre-existing cell. So if you will go to Element and Cells, and we'll open and attach a cell library. The one I'm interested in is the Remodel cell. So we'll open up that, and here we have a couple of doors available to us. A left-hand door and a right-hand door. I'm going to start with the left-hand door and make this the placement cell. I'm just going to minimize that. And let's place this cell in the drawing. So use the Place Active Cell tool. The cell is in place. Active angle, I'll leave it at 90 for the moment. Scale is 1:1. That will work quite nicely for our drawing. And in comes our door. Let's bring in the right-hand door as well. Make that the placement cell and get rid of this now. And off to the cell tool. In comes my right-hand door. Now I can simply make copies of these doors suitably rotated for the alignment of the doors in each particular wall. So I'm going to make a couple of copies of these doors. Just off to the side there. And then this door will go over here, and this door will go over here. And now I can zoom in and do a more precise placement, locating the door a little past the junction. And this is done because there will be stud work in here to support the door frames. Let's do the same thing with this one. Bring this one in, roughly the same place. Now typically doors are not dimensioned in a wall because it's up to the carpenters to place them. It's only when you need a door in a specific place that you normally apply dimensions. Now we have the problem of breaking the wall. Well, not a problem really. We'll use the same Cut All Components tool, and this time we'll use the door itself as a snap point in relation to the wall. So I'm going to go to my snaps, going to turn Intersection Snap on as the active snap. And now I can snap to this point here and that point there. And I've cut the wall either side of the door symbol. Let me just do that again on the other door. My snap is still running. So I snap to that location there and that location there. And since the doors are flush with the wall, I don't need to put end caps on those. So that finishes the insertion of those doors. And you can now carry on and place doors in the remainder of the door openings as per the original plans. If you'd like to extend the exercise, then add the dimensions that I've shown in the PDF file. And if you wish, zoom in and apply hatching to the interior and exterior wall lines. Interior walls are not normally hatched, but they can be if you wish. Now, please don't delete this drawing because we'll be using the two wall multi-line definitions later in this course when we look at customizing the drawing process.